Coming in Facebook, coming in YouTube, getting ready to start my show called Jimmy Rants over on Instagram. Got one more day to talk about fasting and then we will move on to other topics. But the past week we've been talking a lot about fasting. So it is day 7 of 7 days that we had allotted for the fasting challenge. And so day 7, what's up Sandy? What's up Norma? Wanted to go ahead and get in this last Jimmy Rants all about fasting. So a couple of articles I found about how you break fast. So I thought that would be appropriate. Hello, Tracy. Come on in, you guys. It's going to be a good episode here today. And then, yeah, I'm kind of ready to talk about things besides fasting. So I've been doing that all week long. So we got 7 really good episodes in addressing the subject of fasting for those of you that have missed those. So go back and watch the past ones if you missed any of the ones from this week. But we're not breaking your fast, which so many people are doing here today. Welcome, YouTube. Come on in, you guys. Make yourselves at home. Hello, Nancy. Hello, Scott. Thank you guys for being here as well. Shirley says, I broke my fast 168 hours and 1 minute. But who's counting, right? That's really good, Shirley. Great job. All right, well, let's get on the road over on Instagram. Thank you for being here. As always, feel free to share with your pages here on Facebook. You can also share it on any page that you are a member of a group that you think this would be relevant information. So feel free to share it out there. And we're going to get started here over on Instagram. Get my camera straight. And here we go. So you've done an extended fast. How do you break it? Find out today here on Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. And as always, if you want to join us live on the show, you need to go follow us on Instagram. But we do put this on Instagram TV. Click on that little box and you can go see it right now. But Instagram is where the fun begins. Go check it out. I am at Living Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. Once you are there, engage live. We generally go Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. We also throw in a few 5 p.m. Eastern during the week, a few here on the weekends. On the weekends, I'm very relaxed. Somebody kind of chided me over on Facebook yesterday and said, this is not 2 p.m. I'm like, no. The weekend, I kind of go live when I want to go live. But during the week, we do pretty much stick with 11 a.m. Eastern, so be there, be square. We do simulcast on my Facebook page, so thank you all for being here today. And finally, we also simulcast over on my YouTube stream, the live stream. So thank you guys for watching. All here today on Jimmy Rants. If you missed the live, it is up on IGTV. So go check that out after the show is over. We also throw them up over on YouTube. Just type in a keyword Jimmy Rants, you'll find the show. And then finally, we do put all the past episodes up over at JimmyRants.com. So check out all of those. And if you like what we do here on the show, we do have a Patreon page link. Just click on the Patreon link and throw us a few pennies. It definitely helps us stay on the air. I don't charge anything for this show. No sponsors, no nothing. I just share. So if you get value out of what we do here, then I would really appreciate your support. Okay, you guys, day number 7 has arrived. So if you've been with us since Monday, I started a 7-day water fasting challenge. So let's get the water ready. Water, water, water. Everybody got your water? Water, water, dilly, dilly. So we started a 7-day water fasting challenge. Some people dropped out during the week. I had to drop out at hour 52 because of some stress that was going on this week. But a lot of you are still going strong, or you just finished your fast, or you're about to finish your fast. And I thought, you know what, this last day is the perfect time to talk about how you break a fast. And it was kind of funny the first time I ever heard that question from people. So, well, how exactly do you break your fast? And I was like, it's this really cool Jedi mind trick. Listen, it's a really cool one. It's called eat some food. And that will break your fast. Now, the non-snarky answer is there are nuances to what you should do. That's the smart aleck in my head when somebody said, "How do you break a fast?" Gee, I don't know. Eat. Um, but I've got two great articles to share with you here today. One is from Medium.com. The other one is from ZeroFasting.com. And so let's take a look at what they have to say about how to gently break your extended fast and then to keep the benefits going. Really good information in here. If you've never fasted before, when you fast, use this information to know how to break your fast. Or maybe you've broken a fast and you started feeling an upset stomach or some other issues. This will help you the next time you try to break a fast to do it well. All right, so this first one from Medium.com, breaking your fast. Embarked upon one of the many varieties of fasts where you take in little food for a stretch of time. At some point, you're going to have to break that fast and begin eating again. Experts say you should not let your hunger or cravings drive you, but rather go slowly and thoughtfully into what you want to eat first. So, when should you break your fast? When you start eating again depends upon the fasting protocol you've chosen. And so they talk about it within the context of doing intermittent fasting. And of course, time of day all matters there. You know, when did you have your last meal? What meal did you skip? Did you overnight fast when you slept? You overnight fasted when you slept. If you're eating while you're sleeping, you've got bigger issues than fasting. But yes, you don't want to break a fast, they say, at night since you'll be using fewer calories as you head to bed. So that's an interesting tip. Don't let your fast end at night because it can hinder your sleep. That's really interesting. Go slow no matter what the kind of fast you've done, be it time restricted feeding for some hours or a water fast for many days. It's most important that you ease back into eating so you don't overwhelm your digestion or undo some of the good effects that you've achieved by fasting. This is a mistake a lot of people make, is when they go to end the fast, they think, oh my gosh, I've not eaten in 7 days. I need to eat myself out of house and home. And if you do that, that would be a big mistake. One of the things that Dr. Fung and I wrote in our book, The Complete Guide to Fasting, is we tried to teach people that there is a better way to break your fast than just going straight for all the foods. And in this other one, we're going to tell you about what specific foods to break it with. But you want to have at least a little something on your stomach an hour before you have your actual meal where you're breaking your fast. So let's say those of you that are still fasting, your fast ends at 5 o'clock today and you're able to eat. So at 5 o'clock, you're going to have like a little something. Not many calories, not much, just a small little bit. And you're going to let that stay in your digestive system for about 30 to 60 minutes. And what you're trying to do is bring blood flow back to your stomach again, where it has lied dormant now, if you made it this long, for a week. And so you don't want to go too much too fast because your digestion will not be able to keep up. This is why you want to stoke a little bit of food in your mouth first, get the juices again, and then start eating your meal. A loaded cheeseburger might sound like it's going to be delicious, but it probably won't feel so good going down for all the reasons we just talked about. Think about it. You haven't eaten in a week. Hydrochloric acid pretty much is nil in your stomach because you really haven't had to digest anything. And other digestive juices are not there. Like I said, blood flow is not there. You start eating hot and heavy, lots of food after being fasted for 7 days in a row. Yeah, it's not end well. So always start slow, have a little something before you eat. So listen to this. One expert recommended that you have the number of days that you fasted and you use that as the guide for reintroducing food. So if you fasted for 4 days, give yourself 2 days to ease back into your regular eating. Those of you that have gone the full 7 days, that means about 3.5 days of just kind of easing your way back in. Now it's interesting, you don't have to like try to do this. having done some many long fasts in the past few years, I can tell you that that first meal back, you have that little something and then you think, I'm going to eat a regular meal. What you end up doing is eating about half of what you normally would be able to eat. And that seems so counterproductive. I haven't eaten for a week. Surely I'll be able to eat everything in the house. And it just doesn't work that way. You end up eating about half the calories you normally would. But then you wake up the next day and then you don't eat the rest of the day. You wake up the next day, you don't feel like eating at all. Like it becomes more oh, fasting is the norm. Whereas in our day-to-day, eating is the norm. It's a fascinating kind of phenomenon that happens. So give yourself a few days and ease back into it. But again, that's gonna happen very naturally. And if you kind of ease back into it, you keep a lot of the benefits going with the fasting, and the way you keep those benefits going too, and we talked about this in the Complete Guide to Fasting, an alternate day fast for about a week after you're done with a 7-day fast. So that means today you break the fast and you eat through, say, 6 p.m. tomorrow when you wake up. So that alternate day fasting keeps the benefits going. Consider starting with bone broth or liquids for that first meal. That's a great way to kind of break the fast as well. The less sugar in the liquids, the better, as those can cause bloating and digestive irritation. Hopefully you're not eating sugar at all. Once you reintroduce food, expect to gain back a certain amount of water weight due to adding back in food, and especially if you add in carbs, you're going to replenish your glycogen stores. That's going to refill your muscles with water. However, please continue to drink lots of water. You may have become dehydrated while you fasted. Well, no, not if you did my recommendation of dilly continuing to drink all day. Drink water, that is, all day. So stay on top of the fluid intake during your fast. Post-fasting is also not a great time to try to introduce any new foods. So if you're breaking your fast, don't try a new food you've never had before. Don't try that new recipe you were salivating over on Instagram. Now is not the time. Your body may not be prepared to properly digest these foods, so it's best to wait to reintroduce or introduce those until after you've had familiar foods first. Get back into your normal eating routine before you start adding in any new foods. So when you start eating again, choose foods that are low in carbohydrates, because you don't want to spike your insulin too fast. One of the fasting experts in this article recommends eggs, avocados, nuts, and spinach as a good one to introduce first. Now, I'll tell you something about eggs. Dr. Fung is vehement about being careful with eating eggs as you're breaking your fast food. He has seen in his patient population people having trouble with constipation when they try to reintroduce with eggs, and thus causes gastric distress. So be careful with eggs. I because he struck the fear of God about that in me, I've never tried to use eggs to break my fast before. I know several of you have been telling me this week that you do just fine with eggs, but he seems to think it's not a good idea. But avocado is great. Nuts, spinach, all of that seems great. Another nutrition expert recommends that you start with soft cooked vegetables since they're easier to digest. Slowly move up to foods that are more normal for you so you can avoid constipation. And then by all means, do not have raw foods until your digestive system is back in order again. So when you transition coming off of a prolonged fast, like a lot of you who've made it to day 7, it may be better to start with small servings and have no more than 500 calories per meal. Again, I don't think you have to force that. I think your body's going to automatically titrate down on the amount of food that you would normally eat. And again, that seems counterproductive, seems counterintuitive, that you would be eating less right after having a very long fast, but your body's like, we don't need it. We don't need as much food. This will transition your body to adapt to having higher amounts of nutrients again later. In rare cases, people who have gone a long time without eating, usually over 10 days, or who are malnourished prior to starting the fast can be at a risk for this thing called refeeding syndrome. So this is a potential fatal syndrome that can occur due to shifts in fluid and electrolytes after food is rapidly reintroduced back into the body. So we addressed refeeding syndrome in the Complete Guide to Fasting. The main thing there is just make sure you take it slow. You do this process where you have a little bit of food, a couple hundred calories worth of something, put it in your mouth an hour before you're going to break your fast. Then when you go to break your fast, whatever your normal amount of food, just automatically only make half of it. And then you're not tempted to eat too much. And again, I think it's going to be a self-limiting thing. Your body's going to stop you. But there is that danger of refeeding syndrome, and it's not pleasant from what I understand. Thankfully, I've never experienced it because I always go slow. But there are people that they feel like, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten for a week. And so psychologically, you tell yourself, I must eat something. As long as you're in good health going into the fast, transitioning back to your normal diet should be pretty simple. And this is unlikely to occur, this refeeding syndrome. So if you start to crave sugar again after fasting, then you can quell that, they say here, with some fruit, particularly if you're fasting for weight loss, balance your blood sugar. I don't know about that one. I mean, fruit is probably not the best option. But if it's something that you want a little bit of something sweet, it's certainly better than a candy bar. But be careful with even natural fructose. It can impact your insulin sensitivity. And I'm thinking, you just did all this great work of fasting. Why would you want to mess with your insulin sensitivity? When you are finishing up a fast, that is a perfect time for your body to say, okay, we're a lot more insulin sensitive than we've ever been before. Why don't we don't do anything that would exacerbate that? And I think eating fruit would do. And especially if that's the only food you're eating post-fast to break your fast, is a big bowl of berries even? Not a good idea. So if you must eat fruit, choose those that are lower on the glycemic index and higher in fiber, which they say are berries, apples, and pears. Again, this is not a keto rider. It's just a rider in general. But I would even say be careful even with the berries. So to help with overeating, have a plan in place to break your fast. For these longer fasts, map out the meals for the week after your fast. So if you haven't done that yet and you're here in day number 7, maybe you've already broken your fast, but have you planned out what you want to eat this week? I don't know how important that is, but if it's something that will help keep you on the straight and narrow so that you don't kind of unravel all the good that you did during your fast, it's not a bad idea. Knowing exactly what and how much you'll be eating on the days following your fast can reduce your risk of binge eating and choosing bad foods. Meal planning apps and meal prep kits are all great tools. All right, other considerations include a small portion of protein at your first meal, such as chicken or eggs. They can provide amino acids to help rebuild and repair the body. When you are fasting, growth pathways such as IGF-1 and mTOR are all suppressed. So these amino acids will immediately stimulate both of these. So be sure once you reintroduce amino acids from protein post-fast that you know you're activating all these beneficial things to your body. What you eat isn't the only consideration. Another one recommends that you chew your food very thoroughly, as many as 30 times per bite, to make sure your food is easily digested. That's interesting too, because the process of chewing food activates all these salivary glands and all these digestive enzymes within your salivary juices, which can then replenish in your stomach and help you in the digestion. So if you want to avoid some of the refeeding syndrome, you want to avoid some of the stomach upset that comes with breaking a fast, if you do it too quickly and don't chew your food up, chew, and chew some more. That's really good advice. You can also consider adding in a probiotic, either in the form of a supplement or foods like sauerkraut or yogurt. And then beyond just breaking your fast, also consider all of your overall eating habits, because if you only fast and then you eat crap when you're done fasting, you're not going to get the results you want. And that's the well duh of the year, right? All right, and then this other article, again from zerofasting.com, they talk about when you break your fast, what are the foods that you want to, this one, foods to avoid. Processed high glycemic carbs. Look for foods that don't have junk carbs in them. As you're exiting a fast, be kind to your blood sugar and avoid a big spike. Your body can be extra sensitive to carbohydrates. People don't even think about that. When you finish fasting, you've not eaten food at all. Even if you stay well hydrated, your blood is primed for whatever that first food you put in there is. And some people say, well, I made it 7 days of fasting. Surely I can have a donut. Oh, you can have it all right, but it's going to have you, I promise you. It's going to knock you upside your head. You'll be that extra sensitive to carbs, and a lot of sugars and processed carbohydrates will send your insulin spiking through the roof. Think about all that work you do being on an extended fast, and you lower your insulin, and you improve your insulin sensitivity, and then suddenly you put some crappy garbage in your bloodstream. Your body's gonna be like, dude, what are you doing? It's just gonna spike your insulin. So these highly processed, high glycemic, nutrient deficient carbohydrates like pastries, crackers, pasta, chips, and candies will give you little benefit, and they can trigger events in our bodies that can lead to chronic disease. So you don't want these postprandial food spikes, which have been shown to elevate markers of oxidative stress and inflammation, which will increase your risk for heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. So don't mess up what you did good in your fast thinking that you deserve it. I've had people say that. Oh, well, I fasted for 7 days, so I deserve to get to go out to eat at a fast food restaurant and eat all the junk I want. Okay, if that's your way of treating yourself, I suppose that's your choice. But there's other ways to treat yourself without treating yourself to future disease. What else should you avoid? Lactose. You'll probably want to avoid high lactose dairy immediately after a fast. That means anything with milk, yogurt, or ice cream. It's already difficult for people to digest, lactose is, especially as you're aging, and it can be very troublesome following a longer fast. So be sure that you go dairy-free at least those first few days following a fast, or at least use low lactose dairy, such as butter, hard cheeses, and any kind of lactose-free milk. Another thing to avoid, cruciferous vegetables. Staples like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts can actually make you feel uncomfortable right after a fast. These veggies have lots of fiber plus a saccharide called raffinose that humans don't digest very well. Our small intestines lack the agal enzyme needed to break it down so that all vegetable matter ends up in the large intestine where it will ferment. When it starts fermenting, you guys, you know what that leads to, right? Gas and bloating. So you'll fart and you'll wake up in the morning with a belly. That sounds fun, right? It would become uncomfortable right after a fast, especially. Raw cruciferous vegetables are especially difficult to digest. So if you're going to eat them at any point following your fast, make sure you steam them or saute them, which can make it a little easier on your gut. You could also ferment these veggies, your large intestine will ferment these vegetables and ultimately promote a healthy microflora. But this is once your stomach juices are all flowing again. So be sure that you consume them, just not right after a fast. All right, so those are the foods to avoid. What should you eat? Protein. We like to eat poultry or fish to follow a fast. Having a small portion of protein at your first meal, like salmon or chicken, can be a good option because you get all the amino acids that you need to help rebuild and repair the body. Just be careful not to overdo protein. stomach will have decreased in the size over the course of the fast. So don't binge on the food. Just make sure you eat so much food that you stretch out your stomach, because that can be uncomfortable. Again, I find, at least from my own personal experience, that it's self-limiting. Like, your body's going to pretty much say, all right, dude, thanks for that energy. We're going to stop now. And if you listen to that, then you should be okay. Unfortunately, some people's head hunger gets the best of them because they've missed eating, and they keep eating way beyond satiety. What other foods to eat? Vegetables. Non-starchy, non-cruciferous vegetables. Cook them in healthy fats like avocado oil or grass-fed butter. You're bound to be in ketosis after a longer fast, so these fats will serve as fuel, and they will keep you in a state of ketosis while you're digesting these vegetables. Avocado is another food to fast. Although it's got plenty of fiber, it also has plenty of fat to let your fat adaptive body dig in after a fast is over. Go easy on avocado so you don't get too much fiber, but it's a great way to get healthy fats in and give you energy when you are finished your fast. Bone broth. It's a tasty addition to incorporate on your first day after breaking your fast. It has a lot of vitamins and minerals and amino acids that can help your gut health post-fast. It also contains things like calcium, magnesium, zinc, iron, manganese, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, as well as gelatin, all of which will improve intestinal permeability and have anti-inflammatory effects. So the bottom line is, eat a meal of sauteed vegetables with chicken or fish. A non-starchy salad with chicken or avocados are both great ways to ease your body back into eating. You could also have a nice warm mug of bone broth. One more thing is, be sure you chew, and chew some more. As we mentioned earlier, you want those digestive enzymes going back action again. Do your GI tract a favor. Get some of the digesting done before that food even enters your stomach. So the further out you get from your fast, the more you can relax all these rules and return to your keto diet. So all good information, you guys, about how you gently break your extended fast, keep the benefits going. Certainly it's something that, if you made it to day 7, congratulate yourself. Kudos to you. I think it's wonderful, those of you that have been willing to put in the effort to be on an extended fast. I know from personal experience, having done many of these now, it is a hard thing to do, but once you do it, man, the sense of accomplishment today, you should be so proud. And regardless of where you were in this fast, if you ended it on day 2 or you're ending it here in day 7, be proud, because you're doing something that most people in America will never even attempt to do because they don't understand. And if you're one of those people, maybe you're watching this right now, I encourage you to pick up a copy of my book called The Complete Guide to Fasting. I wrote this with a fasting expert, Dr. Jason Fung, who is a medical doctor who uses fasting with his patients up there in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And Jason is a huge believer in fasting, well over 1,000 patients going on fasting protocols of all types. And so it's very healing. We're definitely going to do this again, by the way, you guys. It was kind of bad timing with this week, but a lot of you stuck with it. Some of you started and didn't quite make it all the way to the end. I was one of those. But you add up the cumulative effects of fasting. Fasting is not just one event and it's one and done. Fasting hopefully becomes a lifestyle where you incorporate it in from time to time to give you kind of added benefits to your eating plan. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. We're going to come to Instagram first, then over to Facebook, and finally over to my YouTubers. Thank you all for being here today on Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. See what you have to say. Linda says, I'm late. Linda, you're never late. You can come in and make yourself at home, have a good time, and watch on the replay if you missed anything. Temple says, what is the worst idea in terms of food that you've chosen to break a fast with? Well, I learned from the best, so I never really made this mistake. But Dr. Fung really schooled me very well, Temple, so I wouldn't make an egregious error. But that's a great, great question. I would think, at least from the people that I've talked to, it's those people who add too much of a high fat food so fast. I think I've heard from several people who said they tried to break their fast, like break their fast. They've been on a 7-day fast of water and salt only, and the first food they put in their mouth is a ribeye steak. Ribeye steak's probably not the best idea because you got red meat, which is a little harder to digest. You've got the fats that's in there, and suddenly my nose is getting itchy, sorry. You got the fats that's in there. And so yeah, don't do that. Temple says, I broke a fast with a peanut butter burger once. What the heck is a peanut butter burger, Temple? I have literally, like, is it a burger that has peanut butter on it? Oh, what is a peanut butter burger? I did that before I had your book, of course. Yeah, sorry, you threw me for a loop. I'm imagining this beef hamburger that has peanut butter Jif all on top of it, and it's just, okay, a peanut butter burger. I'm coming back to you here in a minute. Explain what a peanut butter burger is. I'm going to go over to Facebook because I'm having trauma thinking about a peanut butter burger now. So, but yes, ribeye steak, anything kind of a fatty protein probably is a bad idea to break your fast. All right, hey Facebook, what's going on? Let's see what you guys have to say about this. Norma says, I finished at 140 today. An extra 10 minutes. I lost 12 total pounds. Feel great. I know I've lost inches because my pants keep falling off. We'll do measurements tomorrow morning. So happy. Thanks for your leadership. Thank you, Norma, and congratulations. That is outstanding. If that was the first time you've ever done that, good job. Nancy says, my main reason for fasting this time was to get my blood sugar down and my ketones up. The last thing that I'm going to do is eat fruit and carbs. Exactly. This fast was a reset for me, and it's going very well so far. 2 days post-fast, my numbers are doing great. I'm now intermittent fasting 18 to 20 hours. Yeah, this is a kind of a cool phenomenon. If you weren't intermittent fasting before doing extended fasting, when you end your extended fast, you almost spontaneously fall into intermittent fasting. It's pretty wicked. Like I never would have believed that until I experienced it myself. Norma says, I forgot my blood sugar got down to 75, ketones 2.7. Both of those are the best I've ever had. That's awesome. That's really awesome. I was going to have a ribeye, Norma said. Looks like I'll have to find something else. It's okay, I think, to have a ribeye a few days after you break your fast. Just be careful because that's a lot of red meat. And depending on how you cook it, if you cook it more kind of medium rare, it's going to be harder on your body to digest. So, and plus the extra fat in it. It's not that a ribeye is bad. It just means in the context of breaking a fast, it's probably not the best first food. I agree with that second article that said try to get protein in and gentle fats that can be easily digested. So give that a go. Michelle says, what do you take to get your electrolytes in and how much? So 2 things that I've been recommending during this fast and all fasts. Redmond's Real Salt, or any kind of really quality salt, is going to give you sodium and those kind of things. We've been talking about that all week long. And then this other thing is this fasting drops from Keto Chow. And so it's got concentrated forms of both sodium and magnesium that you can drip right into your water. And so whenever you feel bad in the midst of a fast, those are the electrolytes that I recommend. So, all right, thank you, Facebook. I'm gonna go over here to YouTube, and then I'll be back over here in a minute because I'm dying to know what a peanut butter burger is, Temple. Shirley says, I broke my fast at 168 hours and 1 minute. That's so awesome. Tamara says, hello. Hello, Tamara. All right. Back to you guys. Temple, I hope you came through because I need to know what a peanut butter burger is. Exactly. It's a burger that's smeared in peanut butter. Really, Temple? Yuck. Am I just not living the life? Like, never in a million years would I imagine putting beef and peanut butter together. Like, am I the weirdo here that thinks that's disgusting? I'm trying to think if I would do anything kind of funky monkey. Do you add bananas to it too? Like a burger patty with peanut butter and little slices of bananas on top, and then honey on top of that. And I need to get out more, apparently. Thank you for that education, Temple. Beth says, if you have fallen out of a fasting practice, I would think it would be beneficial to bite the bullet and go for an extended fast to reset so you can be able to intermittent fast spontaneously. That's a good point. Although I would say, don't think you have to go 7 days. If you've kind of falling out of the fasting habit and you go 3 days, I think 3 days is enough, Beth, to probably get you back into intermittent fasting again. And then you get good at intermittent fasting, and then you want to push it even further. So good point. Thank you for that. The Ketovore coach says, totally agreed with your Facebook post about not going into a fast after a binge. No. Huh. You know how many people say, well, I just did a big carb and alcohol binge, and I need to get back into ketosis. Should I go on a fast? And I'm thinking, dude, you have to get your body back into fat burning mode first. And it's extraordinarily hard to go on a fast if you're not already in a fat adapted, keto adapted place. So yeah, I'm glad you liked that little clip that I did from a previous Jimmy Rants. But yeah, you'd be surprised how many people think that's a good idea. And I'm like, no. Temple says, I'm from Mississippi and anything goes. Well, I'm from the South too, and we ain't never put no peanut butter on our burger. I promise you, Temple. Now you got me curious. Although I don't like peanut butter, I like almond butter. I'm sure it would be the same way. Can I do an almond butter burger? If I ever do that, I'm going to do it live on Jimmy Rants just so Temple can see me eat a nut butter burger. Beth says, when I lived in Hawaii, I have a hamburger that has avocado, peanut butter, tempura, chicken, bacon, and it was delicious. This was all prior to keto. All right, so avocado on board, chicken I'm on board, bacon I'm on board, but the peanut butter one's just throwing me for a loop. Could you do peanut butter and jelly burger? Sorry, we're going a little bit off topic here, but now you got me curious with a peanut butter. This is forever going to be known as the peanut butter burger episode of Jimmy Rants. N=1 says no fast after a binge. Yeah, it's no fun. Like, if you already struggle with fasting, you're just making it harder on yourself trying to go right into a fasting period, especially people wanting to do like an extended fast. Should I fast for like 5 days after I had a carb binge? Okay, if you like pain, go ahead. It's not smart. You will be starving. You will be miserable. No, get fat adapted for about 4 to 6 weeks and then try fasting. Temple says, yes, try it and please report back. I will join you and we can have a nut butter burger together. One of these days I'm going to meet you, Temple, and that will be your job, is take me out to a place to get a peanut butter burger. Michelle says, recently I have been getting arrhythmia when I fast, so I've added in magnesium. It seems to help. Have you heard this happen to others? Yeah, it's electrolytes. It's definitely electrolytes, so sodium up. It's one reason I tell people keep your water close and keep your salt close. And so good for you using magnesium. I know this Fasting Drops product from the Keto Chow people, they have concentrated magnesium in there. So yeah, if you get heart palpitations and you get those kinds of things going on, it's generally an electrolyte issue. Shirley says, when you do your next fast, I want to join. I probably should only do 2 or 3 days since I did the full 7 this time. Hey, you can do however many days you want. Shirley, Temple over here, Shirley over here, Temple says the peanut butter burger sounds pretty good. She said, thanks for doing this fast with us, Jimmy. I really needed it. Well, there's just something magical about doing a corporate fast. It's one reason people were so wanting me to do one when I got back from my sabbatical, and then COVID-19 hit, and they're like, "Oh, let's do a 7-day fast." I'm like, "Whoa, slow your roll, guys. We need to kind of chill out the stress a bit." And so I planned it for June the 1st through the 7th, like 3 weeks before that, and then all the George Floyd stuff and the rioting and everything happened, and so it got a little tense this past week. So those of you that made it a full 7 days, I am so glad the stress did not get to you. It got Jimmy Moore really bad. And I'm doing better now, but I did make it 52 hours of fasting, which means I definitely want to try this again sometime, probably in the month of July. So I don't know if I corporately want to do that or not, but we'll see. By the way, I'm still wearing my Freestyle Libre, which is the little blood sugar, little cyborg thing. And I've been testing my blood sugar. I posted on my stories yesterday on Instagram pretty much all day long. My blood sugar is staying, even after meals, within a 10-point, tight 10-point range. That's what you want, you guys. Like during meals, after meals, while you're sleeping, you want kind of this really tight range of your blood sugar. And it's kind of cool when you know that the way you're eating is not pushing your body really hard. Kat says, I'm still on my fast. I'm going to keep it going. So far feels good. And that's the other thing. If you're at the end of the fasting period, that doesn't mean you need to end. If you're like Kat and you still feel good, keep it going. Don't feel like you have to keep or end your fast. You can keep fasting if you want to. So that's cool, Kat. Norma says, I get palpitations after day 3 or 4 of fasting. It comes and goes. I take more salt, and that seems to help. Yeah, when you start getting those heart palpitations, almost invariably, it's your body telling you need some electrolytes. So, by the way, still wearing the Freestyle Libre, still checking my blood glucose. So I'm gonna, and I've got it on for another week because it's a 2-week thing, and I put it on last Sunday. So this week I am going to be doing some experiments. And so on my Instagram stories today, I asked my followers to let me know, should I test eating a lot of protein to see what impact it does on my blood sugar because of the whole gluconeogenesis. Everybody's like, oh, you spike your glucose when you have a lot of protein. And so that would be an interesting test to see. Or should I test varying levels of adding in carbohydrate to see how my insulin sensitivity is here? I know that my insulin sensitivity is a whole lot better than it has been. And so I could do varying levels of carbohydrate and again, test postprandial. I can just on a whim test throughout the 2 hours postprandial of eating. So go vote on my Instagram stories of which one you want to see. I think as of before coming on the air, more people had voted for the protein, but it was a close vote. So definitely go vote on that. Kat says, the more you fast, the more careful you need to be with breaking a fast. Oh yeah? Why is that? Is it because you feel a confidence level that because you've broken a fast before, Kat, that you don't think anything will happen to you now? I'm trying to understand why you need to be more careful breaking a fast now. But yeah, so stay tuned, guys. I'll post on social media the results of some of my testing this week. I may have time to do both the protein and the carb one, but if I only have time for one, I would like to know which one you would like for me to do. So over on my Instagram page at Living Low Carb Man, vote on the story. So, all right, you guys. Well, congratulations to everybody that made it into day 7 of fasting. Kat says you can't just eat anything in mind. Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. You can become complacent that, okay, I've done fasting before. It's no big deal what I break it with. But no, the rules still apply no matter how many times you have fasted. All right, let me get out of here, you guys. That's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. And as always, you can engage live in the content. You got to go follow me right here on Instagram. I'm at Living Low Carb Man, LivinLowCarbMan. Once you're there, engage live. We also have great content on my regular page, which I'm I'm weaving in several things now, including the nutritional health stuff, keto, fasting, cholesterol, all that kind of thing. But I'm also weaving in some of the Black Lives Matter and the social injustice stuff with the Black community. So go check that out as well on my stories. So thank you all for being here today. Beth says, I think as you get more proficient in fasting, your body heals and cannot tolerate as much as it could before. That's interesting. That's a good point as well. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you also to the simulcast over here on my Facebook page. So thank you guys for being here today. And thanks to all my YouTubers watching the live stream. Really appreciate you guys watching here today. The whole family of Jimmy Rants. Thank you all for being here. If you missed the live here on Instagram, we do put it up on IGTV, so be sure you go check it out over there on replay. We also put it up over on YouTube. Just type in a keyword, Jimmy Rants, you'll find the show. Finally, JimmyRants.com is the official website. We have all 500 plus episodes of Jimmy Rants and counting right there. And then if you like what we do here, you like this show, and you want to see it keep going, I don't do any sponsorships or anything, and it's always going to be free for you guys to consume this content. But if you like what you do and you want to throw a few pennies my way, I do have a Patreon page over at JimmyRants.com. Just click on that link and definitely donate whatever you feel like this is worth to you. All right, guys, that's it for now. We'll be back again on Monday with a brand new Jimmy Rants. We'll see you then. All right. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Yes, I'm showing my age with that reference. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday. On the weekends, I try to just chill a little more because during the week, it's a little more intense being in content mode. My podcasts run Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I definitely always do a Jimmy Rants at 11 a.m., sometimes an extra one Monday through Friday. So yeah, stay busy during the week. So when I get to the weekends, what was it? Loverboy. Everybody's working for the weekend. So I do try to take it easy on the weekends. I don't know why I'm into 80s and 90s music in my head right now. I'll take your request if you want to ask me to sing a riff from a 80s or 90s song. Oh, I have too much fun, but that's the spice of life, right? Thank you, says Norma. Thank you, Norma. I really appreciate you guys being here. It's always fun, always a pleasure to be able to hang out with you. And yeah, I'm going to keep this going. I love gabbing. I love getting on camera. I love just saying hello and just talking with real people and talking from my heart. That's what people look for, is real life. So I try to deliver it here. All right, let me pop off of here. Michelle says we appreciate you. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate you. I would have nobody to talk to on these lives if I didn't have people like you that watched. So thank you for giving me a reason to keep talking. So keep coming back. All right, let me get off of here for now. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye. Bye, YouTube. See you later.